INFJs move through the world with a unique kind of presence. They are calm, quiet, and gentle on the outside, yet inside they hold a deep intensity that few people ever recognize. This intensity is not loud or forceful. It is not the kind of intensity that takes up space or demands attention. Instead, it is a steady inner focus that people feel without understanding why. It is emotional depth mixed with quiet strength, and it creates a strong reaction in almost everyone who comes near them. People sense something different in the INFJ even before they speak. They feel the calmness first, a softness that feels safe and peaceful. Then they sense the intensity beneath the calm, an energy that feels focused, alert, and quietly powerful. Because this combination is rare, people respond to it in unpredictable ways. Some open up immediately. Some become nervous. Some project their emotions onto the INFJ. Others become intrigued and want to be around them more than they expected. But what many people do not understand is how this calm intensity affects the INFJ internally. The INFJ notices every reaction from others. They feel the emotional changes, the curiosity, the tension, the admiration, and the confusion. They absorb all of it. Even when they show a relaxed face, their inner world is processing every detail. This processing shapes their thoughts, their choices, and their emotional energy. This calm intensity can make the INFJ feel misunderstood. People often make assumptions about them, assume they know them, or treat them like a mystery to solve. Others may expect them to be strong all the time because of their calm presence. Some may push too hard to understand them, while others may pull away because they cannot read them. All these reactions affect the INFJ more deeply than people realize. Inside, the INFJ wants peace, clarity, and real connection. But the reactions their presence triggers can overwhelm them, drain them, or push them into isolation. They often feel pressure to manage other people's emotions while trying to stay grounded in their own. Their calm intensity becomes both a strength and a source of emotional weight. In this video, we look at 6 ways this calm intensity affects the INFJ. These points explain how people's reactions shape the INFJ's inner world, why certain situations exhaust them, and why they often retreat to protect themselves. Understanding these effects helps reveal what the INFJ experiences beneath their quiet exterior, and why their calm intensity is both a gift and a burden. Way number 1, it makes people project their emotions onto the INFJ. One of the strongest effects of the INFJ's calm intensity is that people begin projecting their emotions onto them. This happens because the INFJ's presence feels open, steady, and non-threatening. They do not push their personality onto others, and they do not create emotional noise. This silence makes people see the INFJ as a blank space, where they can place their own feelings, fears, and assumptions. People who feel insecure may assume the INFJ is judging them, even when the INFJ is simply observing calmly. People who feel lonely may believe the INFJ understands them deeply, even if they barely know them. People who feel overwhelmed may cling to the INFJ because their calm energy makes them feel grounded. These projections are often unconscious, but the INFJ feels them clearly. The INFJ absorbs these emotional projections without trying to. Their intuition picks up on the hidden tension behind someone's words. Their empathy senses the fears people are trying to hide. Their calm presence becomes a mirror for others, reflecting emotions the person does not want to face. The INFJ sees and feels these emotions, even when nothing is spoken. Over time, this becomes exhausting. The INFJ begins carrying feelings that do not belong to them. They may feel stressed without knowing why, only to realize they absorbed someone else's anxiety. They may feel sad, heavy, or mentally cloudy because they took in the emotional weight of others. Their calm intensity becomes a magnet for projection, and the INFJ becomes the emotional container. People may also assume the INFJ knows how to fix their emotional problems because of the calmness they show. They expect answers, comfort, or guidance. While INFJs are naturally helpful, they become overwhelmed when too many people rely on them emotionally. The INFJ often feels pressure to stay calm even when they are tired, confused, or dealing with their own struggles. Another problem is that projection leads to misunderstanding. Someone may think the INFJ is distant when they are actually listening. Someone else may think the INFJ is interested in them emotionally when they are simply being kind. Others may think the INFJ is upset or judging them when the INFJ is simply deep in thought. These misunderstandings can make social situations more difficult for the INFJ. The INFJ's calm intensity triggers emotions in others that the INFJ did not create and did not ask for. This constant emotional projection affects the INFJ's mental energy, making them more cautious about who they let close. It also pushes them toward solitude, where they can finally separate their own emotions from those they absorbed from others. Way number 2. It causes people to reveal more than they intended. Another strong effect of the INFJ's calm intensity is that people open up to them instantly. The INFJ's presence feels safe, steady, and non-judgmental. People sense they can speak honestly without being criticized or misunderstood. Before they realize it, they begin revealing personal stories, fears, secrets, or deep feelings they never planned to share. This happens because the INFJ listens in a way that is rare. They give their full attention. They maintain calm energy. They do not interrupt, rush, or judge. They make the other person feel seen instead of tolerated. Most people are not used to being listened to so deeply, so they react by opening themselves completely. For the INFJ, this creates a complicated emotional experience. On one hand, they value meaningful conversations and appreciate honesty. On the other hand, they often receive emotional information when they are not prepared for it. People unload their pain, trauma, or confusion onto the INFJ without realizing the weight they are placing on them. The INFJ then becomes responsible for emotions they did not invite. They may feel pressure to comfort, guide, or support the person who opened up. They may feel guilty if they cannot help. They may feel burdened by the sudden emotional intensity. Their calm presence attracts this openness, but their inner world becomes overwhelmed by the sudden emotional load. This openness from others also affects the INFJ's boundaries. They want to protect their own emotional energy, but they find themselves pulled into deep conversations even when they are tired. They do not want to appear uncaring, so they stay present longer than they should. They absorb more than they can handle. Their calm intensity makes people feel safe, but it also makes the INFJ responsible for emotional responsibilities they never asked for. Another challenge is that people often mistake the INFJ's calm interest for emotional closeness. Someone might reveal something personal and then assume the INFJ wants a deeper relationship than the INFJ actually does. This misunderstanding can lead to unwanted attachment, confusing expectations, and emotional pressure the INFJ did not intend to create. Over time, this constant emotional exposure affects the INFJ's ability to stay open. They may begin to hide their calm intensity to avoid attracting too much emotional attention. They may become more selective about who they allow into their inner space. They may retreat more often to preserve their emotional health. The calm intensity of the INFJ opens doors in others, but it also places emotional weight on the INFJ that they must manage carefully. It shapes how they move through the world, how they connect, and how they protect their internal balance. Way number 3. It draws curiosity and attention. They did not ask for the INFJ's calm intensity often pulls people toward them, even when the INFJ is trying to stay unnoticed. Something about their quiet presence makes people curious. They seem peaceful on the outside, but their eyes show depth. They listen without interrupting. They think before speaking. This combination creates a sense of mystery that people want to explore. Some people find this calming and want to be near the INFJ. Others become fascinated and try to figure them out. Some sense the intensity beneath the calm and start wondering what the INFJ is thinking or feeling. The INFJ's silence makes people fill in the gaps with their own ideas. Their gentle attitude makes people want to know what is behind it. Their depth makes people feel there is more to learn. While this curiosity may seem harmless, it affects the INFJ more than others realize. The INFJ does not enjoy being the center of attention. They prefer observing rather than being observed. They like understanding others, not being studied themselves. When people start watching them closely or focusing too much on their presence, the INFJ becomes uncomfortable. They feel exposed, even if they are doing nothing but being quiet. This attention also brings pressure. People expect the INFJ to explain themselves or reveal more than they want to. Some try to break the INFJ's calm by asking personal questions or pushing for reactions. Others follow the INFJ with their eyes, trying to understand what makes them different. Even friendly curiosity can feel overwhelming because the INFJ did not invite it. This curiosity becomes even stronger when people cannot read the INFJ's emotions. Some feel confused because they cannot predict what the INFJ is thinking. This confusion makes them pay even more attention. They want clarity, but the INFJ's calm intensity gives none. This creates a loop where the more confused people feel, the more energy they focus on the INFJ. The INFJ feels all of this. They sense when someone is watching them. They sense when someone is trying to understand them. They sense when someone's attention becomes too strong. Their intuition picks up on these reactions immediately. Even if they do not show it on the outside, the attention drains their inner energy. In social settings, this can make the INFJ retreat. They may step away quietly, seek a small corner, or limit their interactions. They do this not because they dislike people, but because the curiosity surrounding their calm intensity becomes too heavy. The INFJ needs space to breathe without being observed. Over time, this unwanted attention shapes how the INFJ moves through the world. They may become more private, softer in their expressions, or quieter in groups. They learn how to blend into the background to avoid carrying the emotional weight of other people's curiosity. But the calm intensity remains, and with it, the attention they never asked for. Way number 4. It leads to misunderstandings about their true intentions. Another effect of the INFJ's calm intensity is that people often misunderstand them. Their quiet confidence, gentle presence, and focused attention create many interpretations, most of which are inaccurate. People rarely see the full picture of the INFJ because the INFJ does not reveal everything at once. This creates confusion, assumptions, and emotional reactions the INFJ never intended to cause. Some people think the INFJ is distant because they are calm. They assume the INFJ is uninterested or cold simply because they are not loud or expressive. Others believe the INFJ is mysterious or hiding something. They see the calm intensity and imagine a story behind it, instead of understanding that the INFJ is simply observing quietly. Some people misread the INFJ's kindness as romantic interest. The INFJ listens deeply, asks thoughtful questions, and makes people feel seen. Many mistake this for emotional attraction. When the INFJ does not respond with the same level of intensity, it creates confusion or disappointment. The INFJ did nothing wrong, but their calm energy leads people to attach meanings that are not true. Others think the INFJ is judging them. The INFJ's quiet observation makes some people insecure. They wonder what the INFJ is thinking or analyzing. They assume the INFJ is evaluating them, when in reality, the INFJ is simply listening or absorbing the moment. This misunderstanding can create distance or tension the INFJ never meant to create. The calm intensity also makes the INFJ appear stronger emotionally than they actually feel. People assume they are always in control, always calm, always wise, and always stable. When the INFJ struggles, people are surprised or even disappointed. This reaction creates pressure for the INFJ to hide their vulnerability because they feel they must maintain the calm exterior that others expect. These misunderstandings build emotional weight inside the INFJ. They feel responsible for other people's confusion, even when they did nothing to cause it. They may try to explain themselves, but explanations feel draining. They may try to adjust their behavior, but pretending does not feel natural to them. Over time, these misunderstandings make the INFJ more cautious. They reveal less, speak less, and choose their words carefully. They try to avoid situations where people might misread their intentions. They may even pull back from people who attach too many meanings to their quiet nature. The INFJ wants to be understood, but their calm intensity makes them easy to misinterpret. This affects their relationships, their communication, and their emotional comfort. It becomes one more reason they value solitude, where misunderstandings cannot reach them. Way number 5. It amplifies the emotional reactions of others. The INFJ's calm intensity does not only influence how people see them, it also intensifies the emotions people feel around them. Their presence makes some people feel safe. It makes others feel nervous. It makes some feel open, and others feel unsure of themselves. This variation can be unpredictable, and the INFJ senses every shift. Some people become calmer around the INFJ. The INFJ's steady demeanor relaxes them. They feel grounded and comforted. They speak more gently. They think more clearly. They feel supported without needing words. The INFJ's calmness spreads to them like a quiet wave. But other people react in the opposite way. They feel unsettled because the INFJ is hard to read. They become anxious because they cannot understand the INFJ's thoughts. They feel exposed because the INFJ's quiet observation sees more than they want to show. Their uncertainty grows, and they may act awkward, defensive, or overly talkative. Some people feel drawn to the INFJ with surprising intensity. They feel understood just by being near them. They feel connected even without deep conversation. They feel comfortable showing emotions they usually hide. This pull can be strong, leading to attachment, admiration, or intense trust. But some people feel intimidated. They sense the INFJ's depth and believe the INFJ sees through them. They feel vulnerable, even if the INFJ has no intention of analyzing them. This discomfort makes them act unpredictable. They may try to impress the INFJ, avoid the INFJ, or behave in ways that do not match their real personality. All these emotional reactions create a heavy atmosphere around the INFJ. They walk into a room and immediately feel the emotional shift. They feel the calmness, the tension, the curiosity, the nervousness, or the admiration. Each reaction affects them internally. Their calm intensity becomes a mirror that reveals people's true reactions, but this insight drains their emotional energy. Some people also react strongly when the INFJ sets boundaries. When the INFJ pulls away to protect their energy, some people feel abandoned. Others feel confused. Some chase the INFJ more. Others turn distant or cold. These emotional swings affect the INFJ deeply, even though the INFJ was simply caring for themselves. Over time, all these amplified reactions shape how the INFJ moves through life. They become selective with who they let close. They avoid environments where emotional unpredictability is strong. They retreat often to recover from the emotional waves around them. The INFJ does not try to trigger these reactions. Their calm intensity simply brings out whatever is already inside people. But the emotional weight of those reactions affects the INFJ in strong and lasting ways. Way number 6. It pushes the INFJ to retreat to protect their inner world. The INFJ's calm intensity may seem effortless from the outside, but internally, it requires energy to maintain. Every reaction from others, every projection, every moment of emotional attention affects them. Over time, this creates a quiet pressure that builds inside their mind and body. This pressure eventually leads to one consistent response: the need to retreat. The INFJ retreats because their inner world needs protection. They spend so much time absorbing emotions, observing behavior, and managing the reactions people have toward them that their energy begins to wear down. Their calm intensity attracts attention, but that attention is not always gentle. It can be heavy, emotional, unpredictable, or draining. The INFJ feels all of it, even when they do nothing but exist quietly. Retreat becomes a way to separate themselves from this constant influence. When they retreat, they regain control over their emotional space. They can breathe without absorbing anything. They can listen to themselves instead of listening to the reactions of others. They can reconnect with the calm that comes from within, rather than the calm they must hold for others. This retreat can look like physical distance. The INFJ may spend more time alone, step outside for quiet air, or choose a place where they can be unseen. They do not want attention during these moments. They want their mind to settle without interruption. They want space where their calm intensity does not create expectations or emotional responsibility. Retreat can also be emotional distance. The INFJ may speak less, share less, or stay quiet even with people they trust. They need silence to recover from the constant processing their mind does. They need the world to slow down so their emotions and intuition can return to balance. When they retreat emotionally, it is not a sign of rejection. It is a sign that they are protecting their inner world from overload. The INFJ also retreats from relationships that react too strongly to their presence. People who project, question, envy, cling, or become unpredictable, create emotional noise the INFJ cannot handle for long. Instead of confronting the person or explaining themselves, the INFJ steps back quietly. They do this to maintain peace, not to create distance. Retreat is also how the INFJ regains clarity. When they are alone, their thoughts settle. Their intuition becomes sharp again. Their emotions become easier to understand. Their mind feels lighter. They can rebuild the energy needed to face the world without losing themselves in other people's reactions. Without retreat, the INFJ would lose their balance. Their calm intensity would burn them out. Their inner world would become crowded with emotions that do not belong to them. Retreat is not escape. It is restoration. It is the INFJ choosing their well-being over the demands placed on them. It is the quiet act that allows them to remain calm, grounded, and fully themselves. The calm intensity of an INFJ is a powerful part of who they are. It shapes how people react to them, how relationships form, and how the INFJ experiences life internally. This intensity brings depth and clarity, but it also brings emotional pressure that others never see. Understanding these effects helps explain why INFJs act the way they do, why they retreat when needed, and why their calm is both strength and sensitivity. If you are an INFJ, know that your calm intensity is a gift. It brings insight, honesty, and depth into a world that often feels loud and unbalanced. Protect your inner world and honor your need for space. If you know an INFJ, understand that their calm is not emptiness. It is quiet strength, and it deserves respect.